Coming up in today's vlog, we discover a murder at the Priory. It's said that Burdett, a devout and valiant man, joined a crusade to the Holy Land, and that whilst he was away, his steward had his evil way with Burdett's wife. Why this area is famous for coal. Coal was discovered at Alvecote in the 1870s, and Alvecote Colliery employed about 1,000 men prior to 1942. And the two alleged boring grandparents are back. But just thank you for commenting, thank you for viewing, thank you for subscribing. That's the biggest thing we can ever achieve. Hello.
Hiya.
And welcome to today's vlog.
Yes.
Something you and us never thought we'd see.
No, we were that close to stopping.
Yes.
But no, not now.
No, but thanks to you and our friends who've badgered us incessantly to carry on, and all your lovely messages and comments that you've sent us on the last vlog. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
We feel loved, don't we?
It was such a humbling shock, if you know what I mean. I just didn't realise there were so many people who really got something out of our vlogs and what we do, and that genuinely care for us.
Yeah.
And that was the most humbling thing ever. So thank you very much from both of us.
Thank you. And before we go any further, we have some big thanks to some people who've made some contribution towards us continuing. And that is the following patrons.
Oh, here we go.
So thank you to Justin.
Hang on. I'll just get my grandma glasses on.
Okay. So thank you to Justine Diamond,
Lynn Crook,
Joe and Kev Doyle,
Gareth Waite.
Yeah,
of course.
Gareth has come over from YouTube. Steve Grubb.
Oh, blimey. Robert Clinkenbeard. I hope I've said that right, Robert.
Jill Mackenzie.
Phil Rogers.
Karen Francis.
Janice Zindel.
And then on Buy Me a Coffee, Marianne Purvis.
Russ Danks.
Sue O'Hare.
Oh, just Stephen. We haven't got your surname, Stephen, but thank you anyway.
Thank you, Stephen. Naughty Squirrel Linda.
Oh.
Naughty Squirrel.
We won't go there on that one.
No.
Lynn Crook.
And Francis Marygold. Thank you very much, every single one of you.
Thank you.
Details down below on how you can join the gang on Patreon. As I said before, we're planning some other things to do on there. Little bits of inside filming, maybe a Zoom chat so we can all have a chat together. And obviously on Buy Me a Coffee, it's not actually Buy Me a Coffee, it's Buy Us a Red Wine.
Well, you. Mine's a gin.
Yes, thank you everybody.
Thank you.
But just thank you for commenting, thank you for viewing, thank you for subscribing. That's the biggest thing we can ever achieve.
Yeah, it took you nearly a week to answer all the comments, didn't
Yes,
it?
it took ages.
And each one individually, of course, you've got to do that.
Yeah, and we will reply to every single comment.
Yeah.
Thank you. Now, apparently, before we introduce what today's vlog's all about, apparently, looking at one of those comments, somebody said that we are boring old grandparents.
Well, grandparent type people with little personality.
Yeah. Little personality. Mm-hmm.
That's ladylike.
Well, we finished.
Yeah. I'm going to get blown off. Goodness sake.
Pardon me.
Oh.
You enjoyed that pink flamingo, didn't you?
Oh, yes. I like a pink flamingo.
And that was us dancing on the back of a boat on our wedding anniversary a few years ago. There you go, you see. And also, the other thing is, somebody obviously hasn't been watching our vlogs, because apparently all we do is we sit down here and talk to you guys and introduce the vlogs from here. Hello and welcome to this week's vlog.
Hi.
How are you, Jan?
I'm fine, thank you. And how are you, Tony?
I'm okay. We're making new memories. I'm Tony.
I'm Jan.
There we go.
Ooh, I don't know, I'm not too sure about that. I'm John. I'm Jan.
I'm John. Well, there we go. There's just a few locations that we've been in. We don't always introduce things from inside.
Good God, no.
No, it's just circumstance. Most of the time we're on the back of the boat.
Yeah?
when
And we're cruising.
Yeah, and that's what we do. Anyway, today's vlog, we are going to be starting some history straight off. So take a look at this. The Coventry Canal was constructed primarily as a route for transporting coal. Coal was discovered at Alvecote in the 1870s, and Alvecote Colliery employed about 1,000 men prior to 1942. Almost everything you see here is related directly or indirectly to it. The railway, the canal, the miners' cottages, the 3 pools formed by the land sinking and then flooding when the underground workings collapsed. In fact, Alvecote Marina here sits on what was once the colliery. It's no coincidence that the pub is called the Samuel Barlow. Samuel Barlow was probably the last coal trader to work on the canals. Founded in 1860s, Samuel Barlow was born not far from here on the Coventry Canal. Eventually based at Glasgow, the company concentrated on the delivery of coal to canal-side factories and worked both short-haul and long-distance traffic. By the year 1914, the fleet was at nearly 50 boats. Following financial problems in 1931, the company name was changed from Samuel Barlow Tamworth Limited to the Samuel Barlow Coal Company Limited, with offices in Birmingham. By the early 1930s, the fleet was at 70, with the first 3 motorboats being purchased from the British Portland Cement Company. Many craft were second-hand from larger carrying companies such as Fellows Morton Clayton and the Grand Union Canal Carrying Company. There are still a good many Samuel Barlow boats left on the network, some of which you can see here moored at Alvecote, as the owner of the marina is a big fan of old working boats. That's the old wharf there, the entrance to the old wharf. We've got 2 locks to do today, and then that's it really for where we're going. I've got a lot, but we're heading for Tamworth. Jan and Chris from Amy Joe already been into Tamworth town for a few shopping expeditions. There's a couple of Amazon lockers, so I've been able to pick up a few goodies. Always handy. And this area, well, in fact this whole canal, as you probably heard when we were at Coventry, one of the main reasons for building this canal was to get the coal from the collieries, and collieries littered this part of the canal. Also, totally unrelated to coal and the canals, is what remains of Alvecote Priory. Alvecote Priory was granted by William Burdett in 1159. It's said that Burdett, a devout and valiant man, joined a crusade to the Holy Land, and that whilst he was away, his steward, a sort of personal assistant if you will, had his evil way with Burdett's wife. On his return, Burdett stabbed his wife and, as a sort of penance for the murder, founded the monastery. Little is known about the priory other than the names of a few early priors, and that it wasn't very well funded. Its value in 1291 stood at £7 9 shillings and 2pence. After 200 years, it was in very poor repair, and this, as you can see, is all that remains. Lovely colours of the trees at this time of year. Golds, browns, bronzes even. Even the willow trees look half decent. Thankfully that one's over there on the other side. Don't think anybody cut some down, do they? Just going under bridge 63. As we go through Tamworth, on our Pearson's map, we've got one bridge that's marked down as low. That's what we've written. I can't remember for the life of me why we did. Obviously it was a low bridge, or it is a low bridge. We'll soon find out when we get there. Because now we're coming onto the outskirts of Tamworth, we can now see the houses and of course the gardens that lead onto the canal. This is the ideal thing, isn't it? Have a house, and at the end of the house you have a mooring, and on the mooring you have your boat. Best of both worlds, isn't it? There's some more attractive gardens for you to look at. I think it is obligatory that if you have a house that backs onto the canal, that you have to have something like this. You know, lovely bar. Keep an eye on the house on the left. If you can see a giraffe and a menagerie of animals. It's better than going to the zoo here, isn't it? Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. Oh. Yeah, lots of little things. This is quite low for a road bridge. Breathe in, everybody. And relax, and we're back out. Phew, there's a couple of low bridges there. I'm still not sure whether that's actually the one that we've marked in the map. Jan's got that map. I have the Nicholsons at the back, and Jan has the Pearsons. That way we get the best of both worlds then. Here's the obligatory shot of the new housing that's crept up at the side of the canal. Windows. Always gets me about the size of windows, especially new builds. They're tiny, aren't they, when you think about it? I mean, gone are the days when you used to be taxed by windows. And when I say taxed, I don't mean, well, yeah, you know what I mean. You had to pay a tax per window, so you didn't have as many, or you didn't have them as big. But these days, I'm sure there's not a window tax. Now, these ones down here must be the executive ones because they've got the bigger windows. Much better to see out of and bring more light into your room. On the opposite side, of course, we've still got the gardens leading onto the canal. And of course, no canal will be complete without a canal side pub. This is called the Gate Inn, a Marston's pub. Not a bad pint if you've ever tried it, give it a go. I'm sure it's available in tins all over the world. Maybe not, I don't know. I'm more of an IPA man myself. Green King. Bridge 69. As Heidi would say, wahey! Might have to move you over there a bit. They love the low bridges around here, don't they? Obviously not very tall people in Tamworth. Which is fine for me then, because I'm a short arse. We're just coming up to the 2 glass cut locks. There's a water. This is a water point as well, I think. Oh, Jan's telling me there's a guy there setting it for us. I think we know this boat. This is Magpie. Ah, hello. Look, Smudge is coming to see us, and Chris. And that's the obligatory leak in lock. Now the guy behind us, obviously that's Amy Jo there, the guy who's moored up here is on the water point. So there's no nothing wrong, but he's actually on the lock landing. But why a water point was put there, next to the entrance to an exit to a lock, you have to ask, well, it was British Waterways, I guess. Strange. And it's not just here, it happens quite a few places on the network. Now if you've been stood by a lock, you might have seen something that says sill painted on the top. Well, actually this is the sill, and that's what you have to be aware of. If any part of your boat ends up on there, it will tilt the boat and you'll end up taking in water, and there have been incidences where boats have sunk in locks because they've been stuck on the sill. So keep an eye out for them. And Chris from Amy Jo has decided to join us and help out. Hooray! There's a boat coming up this lock, so we've left the lock gates open as we've come out, and he'll leave the lock gates open when he comes out. So we're just loitering here. I'm good at loitering, you know. Yeah. Right, so whilst Jan's closing that gate, I'll swing my windlass and open up this paddle. Huh? Here we are. There's water leaking out of it already. What? Look, single-handed. Single-handed, look, you see? Single-handed, Jan. Look at that. Now I've got to get back on the boat before it sinks. I mean, sinks in the lock. If you see what I mean. Otherwise, Jan will do the other side, let the remaining water out, and hey ho, This will have taken us down 13 feet 8 inches in total. There's a long line of moored boats on our port side, on our left, so can't really see past that. Which means I'm going to have to stop here and get Jan on the back of the boat. There we go, Jan's back on the boat. Now we're heading for Fazeley Junction. No idea where we're going to moor up, by the way. The Fazeley Junction is where the Coventry Canal, which we're on at the moment, goes off to the right, and the Birmingham and Fazeley Canal goes off to the left. Now down there, down the Birmingham and Fazeley, there is a marina. Well, we desperately need to get rid of our L sand. Well, not throw it away, but we need to throw the contents away, obviously. And we need to find somewhere to moor up. So it's likely that we will moor up somewhere down there. Who knows? It's Sunday. Some people are moving. It's been reasonably busy for a Sunday in early March. And because it's been a nice day, and it's the first nice day for quite a few days where we've had frost. In fact, we've been iced in at Alvecote. As you can imagine, people are starting to move. And who would blame them? Bridge number 74. That's the River Tame, which of course is where Tamworth gets its name from. I'm a mine of useful information, aren't I? Or useless information. Right, well, after a bit of a disastrous turn onto the Birmingham and Fazeley Canal, no, I didn't video it. And yes, I sometimes get things wrong, no matter how many years you've been doing this. I've never done that turn before, but that's a really bad left-hander. It's almost like 90 degrees, and there's not a lot of room to play with. And what doesn't help is opposite you, where your nose is going to be, where the bow is going to be to turn around. It's all glass fronted, and you do have this thought that you're going to smash the glass. Obviously you're not, because the front of the boat, the button will just hit the, I think it's a rubber around the actual canal itself, but you see all this glass and you think, I'm going to smash into it. But yeah, because I wasn't prepared for it, I didn't turn quick enough, so I had to do it again. Never mind, you know, nobody's perfect, as they say. But here we are now on the Birmingham and Fazeley Canal, part of the BCN, otherwise known as the Birmingham Canal Navigations. Now we're looking for a marina, Fazeley Hill Marina, on our left hand side, which is also, I think, an ABC hire base. And there we go, Fazeley Mill Marina. Great, we've topped up with diesel, emptied the Alvecote, filled up with water. You got to take these opportunities when you can. Sounds like Steve. Amy Jo's got the horn. Okay, so we're now playing the Hunt the Mooring game. Jan's doing a Kate Winslet impression. Oi, Jack. There be moorings ahead.
Thank you very, very much for supporting us and for watching.
Don't forget to give us a thumbs up and subscribe. It's totally free to do so. And then when you have subscribed, press the bell icon.
Ding!
Thank you, Jan.
See you next time and take care.
Happy cruising.
Bye.